Hello everyone, welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot, and today's pick a card, what's next in love for you. So today we're going to take a look at specifically what's coming in next for you after a heartbreak. Now the heartbreak may have been some time ago, but now you're ready to move on, and we're going to take a look at what that next stage includes. It may be a new person coming into your life or a whole new chapter in your love life coming in. Now remember, these messages, they are timeless and they find you whenever you're ready to receive them. So sit back, relax, and ground yourself and allow your intuition to draw you to the pile that calls to you the most. Pile number 1 with the beautiful turquoise blossom, pile number 2 with a pale gold blossom, and pile number 3 with that deep, beautiful orange blossom. Now, if you need another moment, this is a perfect time to pause the video, and whenever you're ready, you can go straight to your reading at the timestamps below. So let's just get started with pile number 1. Welcome to pile number 1 for what's next in love. Let's get right into it. We have the forest is coming in for you. Mysterious energy, deep. The Empress, divine feminine energy coming in. More divine feminine, Queen of Wands energy, Queen energy coming in. What stage are you at? Core values. That's what it's all about for you in this new stage, core values. Two of Wands, moving forward with fire and ambition. And another two of Pentacles. Definitely juggling a lot coming into you. What does Spirit have to say about all of this? Support, right? Finding the support where it is necessary. And we also have Spirit of Earth and Spirit of the Wolf. So Earth, of course, is grounded energy. Perhaps even some messages from ancestors or angels coming in, as well as Spirit of the Wolf, the loner, that instinctual, fierce, rebellious energy. All right, we're going to go deeper with clarifiers and zodiac runes, but for right now, the forest. This is a deep and mysterious area, so your next stage in love is definitely proving right away out the gate to be an area that is unexplored, right? Dark, mysterious, exciting. Resonates with that wolf as well. Very instinctual energy. The forest promises to hold a lot, right? The forest oftentimes is a place that is very rich with life, but it's also a little bit daunting, right? It can be dark in the forest. There can be beautiful things around every corner, but oftentimes whatever you experience is mysterious. It's new, it's mysterious, and I dare say it has a little bit of danger as well as a little bit of excitement all combined. Forest energy is a beautiful stage to come into with a new stage of love because it's all about exploring something new. All about exploring territory that you have not been in before. Now, along with that, we have Empress energy and Queen of Wands. A lot of divine feminine energy is coming in for you. Empress, she is all about that abundance, right? So right now you are ready to put that work into something that you'd like to grow. Empress energy is all about creativity. She's all about nurturing, all about providing exactly what it is needed for something to become its best version of itself. Queen of Wands is more divine feminine energy in the sense that the Queen of Wands is all about that fire and that experience and that wisdom. The Queen of Wands oftentimes is someone who's really been through a lot. And I love this energy combined with the forest because only someone who's been through a lot, who's had a lot of experience, and oftentimes who's been through a lot of difficulties, a lot of trials and tribulations, is able to also then say, wow, I'm ready for something like that forest energy, something that is new, undiscovered, and that requires some courage, right? Now, I want to get a little bit into a little bit more of that forest energy with that Empress. What is that Empress and that Queen of Wands all about? Because we have, you know, the Empress as well as that Spirit of the Earth, Spirit of the Wolf. It really speaks to a very grounded earthy energy that's coming in. But again, as I say, a whole new space for you, a whole new sort of territory for you to explore. Five of Pentacles and the stars. So for some of you, definitely this earlier stage has really proven to be quite difficult, right? You may be starting from scratch again. There may be that feeling of having to sort of start from square one again. The last relationship, that heartache, may have even left you financially wanting a bit, right? Sometimes when we break up relationships, not only does it affect our heart and our spirit, but it affects our pocketbook, you know, especially if you've been living with someone, if your finances have been sort of entangled, if there are just very real material aspects of your life that were combined, and now, you know, whenever there is a split or a breakup, those things are affected as well. And so you had a really real impact on your life from the previous heartbreak. But the star is there, and it feels as though to me that you've never really quite given up. This is not a reading for somebody that, you know, was in despair after heartache. We've all gone through a heartbreak. We've all gone through difficult romantic situations, endings to relationships. But in this particular reading, this is for somebody who, at their very core, no matter how bad it was or how difficult materially it was to maybe regain your footing, you always had that star energy. You always had that desire to keep working towards your goal in love. And you bring with that that Empress energy coming in for you as well. May even feel here like some of the people around you are bringing a lot of nurturing and support as we look ahead to what Spirit has to say. But more than anything, the next chapter in love for you is going to really involve people, places, and things that are very new to you, that are things that you've never really encountered before, and that may indeed have a little edginess to it, a little bit of an anxiety, not anxiety, but almost, you know, an excitement and anticipation of the unknown. That's really what comes through with that forest energy. Now for you, where are you at? This next stage is going to be involving your core values. You're not going to be compromising in this next stage at all. No matter what you come across, no matter who comes into your life, I feel as though after the recent or the past heartbreak that you are healing from, you're not willing to go back. You're not willing to sort of revisit the same types of people or same types of connections as you did before. And the connections that you're allowing to come into your life as part of this new stage have to sort of be in line with what you value, with what you think is important for you in your life and in your connections and relationships. And yet instill that forest energy, that energy of the unknown, the excitement of the deep, dark forest. What can I discover is very much there. You also have a Two of Wands and a Two of Pentacles. So you're ready. You know, there is no holding you back. You will be juggling some things financially, materially. There are a lot of sort of, I would like to say, responsibilities maybe that you might be juggling. Some of you, I have a feeling, may even be juggling two people, two connections. You're kind of giving yourself over to an expansiveness in love. I think that this particular reading is for someone who is ready to sort of really feel the gusto of a full love life. And that does not necessarily mean that you are ready for a one-on-one, right? I believe the vibe here is that you will be entering into a chapter where, while you may be exposed to multiple people, multiple options. You may be dating, you may be going back into dating, you may be starting dating where you haven't done that before. The most important thing for you is that you are the people that come into your life and the things that the activities, or I want to say the experiences that you engage in, align with your core values. But with that Two of Wands and that Two of Pentacles there, you're the driving force behind this next stage in love. So it's not so much you reacting to other people, it's much more you kind of driving the energy of what's coming in for you. Let's get another clarifier for this core values and the forest. There is a connection here. There's a willingness here, I believe, to explore, right? It almost seems as though you may have come from, although the last relationship may have caused a heartbreak in your life, as well, I think you've realized that there's more for you to see. You desire more to see. You're the type of person certainly that enjoys a lot of fire and excitement. Seven of Pentacles. You've already put a lot of effort and work into who you are and into rebuilding your life. And so while you are willing to open yourself up to a whole new set of experiences, maybe even different, as I say, different types of relationships, different types of connections, different types of ways of finding people, as I say, maybe even a dating app or blind dates or any sort of thing like that, that maybe even friends may be exposing you to. You're ready for all of that newness. At the same time, you will definitely have the strength and the desire to protect what you've built so far. You don't want to be in that position that you've been before, where if things don't work out, you're left in a financial difficulty. And I think that is something that you've learned from the past heartbreak that you are absolutely not going to tolerate in any kind of new connection coming into your life. So for you, for pile number one, the next stage in love for you is very much about you exploring a whole new side of life, relationships, of connections, different people, different types of connections, different environments where you find those connections. Now, Spirit says it is about support. And as I say, for some of you, it's going to be very important, the people that you have around you, the friends, the family, the ones that you consider, you know, loyal, that you trust, people that you put your faith into. And they may indeed be supporting you in some of these new sort of ways of connecting. They may be opening you up to new experiences. And it feels like you're absolutely there for it. You've learned a lot, right? You've already learned a lot from the recent or past heartbreak. I do say recent because I feel like this particular reading may be for someone who's had a heartbreak in the last year, right? In the last several months to year, but you're ready to sort of hit the ground running and move on. Definitely picking up the pieces. Spirit of Earth and Spirit of the Wolf. Nature, grounded, ancestors coming in, and also that Spirit of the Wolf. And that's what I'm talking about. The Spirit of the Wolf is that fierce, instinctual, raw power, that energy, that rebellious energy. The wolf oftentimes represents, you know, the rebel in society, the one that's okay with their own company and doesn't necessarily need the company of others. And this is a very strong position for you to be in. So for you, this next stage in love absolutely is going to be exciting. It's going to be a stage in love where you're going to be meeting new types of lovers, new types of people to connect with, and you're going to be definitely exposed to new areas or new, I would say, environments in which you make connections with people that prove to be quite exciting for you. So let's go ahead and pull out some zodiac signs for this pile. See what kind of zodiac signs you may be dealing with in this new area. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Some of you are dealing with that Cancer energy. Some of you are dealing with Virgo, and some of you are going to be dealing with Taurus. Now, I love that. That's two earth signs, and we do have a lot of earth energy showing up here. And then the two water signs, Cancer and Scorpio. All right, everyone, thank you so much. This is the end of pile number one. Now, if you want to go deeper, we're going to get a little bit more specific in the extended, and you can go to the link for that right next to the timestamp for your reading. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started with pile number two. Welcome to pile number two. Let's get right into it. What's coming in next for you in love? The Warrior. I love this. Someone's coming in for you and they are the warrior. What else do we have? A king of swords. Wow. Strong, divine, masculine energy. 10 of wands. Beautiful. And how are you feeling about all of this? Worthiness. You are feeling your worthiness. Certainly a warrior coming in will make you feel that. We have Ace of Cups. Wow. New love. Absolutely a new love. And a Seven of Swords. Wow. So people definitely are going to be working behind the scenes. We're going to get deeper into all of that. What does Spirit have to say? There's a celebration on the horizon. Definitely. And spirits of darkness and light, spirit of the apple and spirit of the anchor. So a solid foundation, an investment, as well as an offer, possibly an engagement. We love this energy right away. This is beautiful reading. I can see it. There's definitely a new lover coming in for you. Now we're going to get deeper with clarifiers and of course zodiac signs, but let's just see, what is this warrior all about? The warrior. The warrior is someone who is willing to fight for what they believe in. They're willing to fight for their love. This is the type of person that when they, see the right thing to do, they're going to do it and nothing is going to stop them. This is strong energy, right? Very fiery energy, very active, forward-moving energy. Now let's combine that with this beautiful King of Swords and 10 of Wands. So this warrior who comes in is someone who's courageous, yes, but also honest, extremely honest, truthful, forthright. This is someone who's extremely intelligent, very logical. You're going to be able to speak to this person. You're going to be able to have long conversations with them. They have a sense of authority about them. There's going to be a feeling of safety that you have around them. 10 of Wands energy is there as well. So it's the end of a period where you've really been carrying some burdens around with you. 10 of Wands oftentimes talks about carrying hang-ups, carrying burdens, obligations, carrying a certain mindset that weighs you down. And when we get to that 10, we're ready to cast that all aside. It's become too cumbersome and you can't carry it anymore. It's the end of that. The end is coming through. And I think that end comes through with this warrior who comes into your life. They almost mark the passage of a chapter that was difficult, a long road, a very, very long road. So let's go a little bit deeper. I love this already because I'm looking ahead. I see that Ace of Cups in the celebration. Your next chapter after the breakup in love is a whole new relationship with someone that is strong, that is alpha, certainly alpha energy, male, female, doesn't matter, but alpha energy is there. Someone that is going to bring truthfulness and honesty, and someone that really helps you lay down this burden of the past. Now, the star, wow. And Seven of Pentacles, beautiful. So the star and Seven of Pentacles, of course, is that feeling of your dreams still coming true, right? Star energy is never giving up on what you truly desire and wish for. Always working towards that, even if you've been, held back or if there have been obstacles in your way. This particular pick a card, love after a heartbreak, doesn't take the desire away from you. It doesn't take the hope away from you. That's what Star is all about. It's continuing to have hope, even in the face of a setback or a hurdle or a difficulty. Seven of Pentacles as well. You definitely take this energy of kind of drawing a line under the last chapter and saying, okay, this is what I have, this is what I've learned, this is what I've gained, and I'm going to take that with me. There's a reevaluation process as well happening here for you. You really find your own sense of self coming in with that Seven of Pentacles. There is a real feeling that despite having gone through that heartbreak, You're moving on, and you're moving on with purpose and a sense of who you are. A sense of being proud of who you are, a sense of being worthy for new love to come in. So you definitely have not closed the door to anything at all. Now, Ace of Cups and Seven of Swords. I did say we will get into that seven. The Ace of Cups, of course, this is a new love sort of blossoming. The potential, the beginning of a whole new love connection. Ace of Cups is so divine and so deep. And yet we still have that Seven of Swords there. So there is a feeling that somebody is working behind the scenes to kind of interrupt. There may be people around you who find jealousy in their hearts, envy in their hearts even. Seven of Swords is quite it can be, it's a shadow card, right? It's a card of deception and futility. It often talks about people who are the thief in the night. Oftentimes it can be people who are close to you. So while we have all of this beautiful sort of new, strong love energy blossoming for you in the form of a new lover coming in, absolutely a new lover coming in, you do have energy of individuals that seem to try to be undermining this, right? Now, those individuals may indeed be connected to some of what you have been carrying. You may have been connected to people, or may even still, to a certain degree, be connected to people who put a lot of pressure on you, who put a lot of responsibility on you in certain ways, right? To carry things almost for them, to carry things that have nothing to do with you. You know, this can even be friendships or relationships with friends and family, people in your circle that you find burdensome, where you find yourself having to sort of compromise your own desires for the future to keep them kind of happy. This is part and parcel of what you're saying goodbye to. I also feel this is a reading for someone who may have been around people who really didn't help you sort of grow your self-esteem or self-confidence, but you're getting that from within, from yourself. That worthiness is a feeling of just realizing that you deserve to have the things that you desire. You deserve to have the relationships, the type of relationships that you desire. And as soon as you embrace that, in comes the warrior. In comes your King of Swords. So let's go ahead and get some more clarity on that. I really love this reading, but again, that Seven of Swords does let you know to take care and be careful. Most of the times I find that whenever we get into a stage in life, in our love or career or personal achievement, where we are letting go of darkness, letting go of things that kind of hold us back, letting go of burdens and obligations that keep us from our best selves, there's always going to be some energy around you that is envious of that. And that's what that Seven of Swords is talking about. But let's see. Wow, Three of Swords, betrayal. Absolutely. So somebody in your life who you've had that heartache, heartbreak with is the person who may be trying to undermine. Now, for those of you who come to this reading, remember this was a pick a card, love after heartbreak. Feels like here that now you've gone through that heartbreak, you've sort of picked yourself up, you found your self-worth, you've laying down all of that turmoil, I want to say, all of that pressure that you've been carrying around with yourself that's held you back. All of this is happening for you, and this person sees that. The person that you may have been connected to in that previous heartbreak relationship is still around you. They still see you. You may still have contact with them. They may still be in your social circle. They're the ones who are going to be kind of trying to instigate themselves into this. So I want you to take care and watch out. You have found your worth. You've been able to lay down and say goodbye to the things that are holding you back. And as soon as this new love blossoms for you, this kind of negative, shadowy energy comes in for you from this heartbreak that you've had before, this individual who's caused you a heartbreak. You may have even been betrayed by this individual. Three of Swords is a very difficult heavy energy. It's a heartbreak, but it's a heartbreak because of betrayal. And so even though this person in your past relationship may have been the source of the breakup, the source of the heartbreak, they're the ones who caused it. It's interesting, as always, that they are also the very same ones who will come in and, on top of things, not really want to see you happy or moving on. So take care with that energy and take care to sort of guard yourself. We look ahead and we have spirit of the anchor. There is a stability coming in with this person that definitely will be, or someone definitely will be trying to undermine. So you don't want to allow them to do that. Now, celebration comes in. That is what Spirit says. Celebration. Yeah, because you have connected with a warrior. This warrior coming in, their spirit energy is so strong, so beautiful. It is exactly the type of person that I think you've been wishing for and hoping for in a relationship. Or to have a relationship with someone like that. Now that you found your own worth, it's as though, you realize that you want someone who's worthy. You found your own worth, and so now the partner that you are open to with this love, warrior, this king of swords that is coming in, also is worthy. And when two worthy people come together, there is always a celebration. Spirit of the apple and spirit of the anchor. So test, offer, temptation. I do wonder, it may be a temptation that comes in for you from whoever you were connected to in the past. Remember, this can happen a lot of times, when you are moving on from a heartache, a heartbreak, a betrayal, a relationship that you finally gotten out of your system, right? And you're finally in a healthy place where you have your self-worth, you still have hope, you've reevaluated and adjusted your life to make room for something positive to come in. Oftentimes, those people who've caused you a lot of heartache and pushed you away will come right back in with some kind of temptation to pull you back into that darkness that they had you in before. Only, if only, to stop the new blossoming of love and positivity for you to for new blossoming of love and positivity to come in to your life. And you don't want that, right? So take care. Watch out, that spirit of the apple, more than anything, it is temptation. Temptation. And oftentimes people who cause you the most heartache will try to remind you of all the good times and tempt you back with those memories of the good times, and try to get you to forget all the bad times and all the reasons why it didn't work out in the first place, only to sort of interfere with what you've got going on now. But spirit of the anchor is there. There is stability coming in. There is something to invest in coming in, and that is this connection with this warrior. I'll tell you this much. The next stage in love after this heartbreak that you've had, this warrior coming in with this king of swords, they're not giving up. And there's nothing that's going to sort of scare them away, right? So whoever, tries to come in and interfere, you're very much going to, or they particularly are very much going to have the attitude of bring it, because I'm a warrior, and so this may be a different time than before. You may now be making a connection with someone who is willing to fight for you and fight for the love that is blossoming between the two of you and will not allow others to interfere. But of course, you have to play your part in that as well. So let's go ahead and pull out the zodiac runes so we can see what kind of zodiac energy you might be dealing with in this warrior. We already have fire and air with that king of swords, but we also have Aquarius. There's more air. Some of you dealing with Aquarius, you may be Aquarius, more air with that Libra. Some of you may have that in your chart or dealing with a person who has Libra in their chart. Some of you have Capricorn coming in. And some of you have Sagittarius coming in, and that's your fire. So an earth, fire, and 2 air signs coming in for you. I really love this reading. This is a real beautiful reading. Everything that you've already hoped for to come in after the heartache, after the heartbreak, and then especially because you were willing to have hope, give it a chance, not, cut yourself off from the possibility of having a proper and beautiful love come in, is allowing it all to happen. And for sure, this warrior, this King of Swords that is coming in, is going to be somewhat different from anything you've experienced before, because the warrior energy is very unique, especially in a lover. It's what a lot of us have always dreamed of, right? Many people will dream of course, being connected with someone who's willing to fight for you, fight for your love, fight to protect whatever it is that the two of you have. And so it's very, very beautiful. All right, everyone, this is the end of pile number 2. I do appreciate you watching. If you want to go deeper, we will be getting a little bit more specific about this connection in the extended reading. You can go to the link for that right next to the timestamp for your pile in the description or the comments. But other than that, let's get started with pile number 3. Welcome to pile number 3. For today's pick a card, let's just jump right into it. What's coming in next for love? The Castle. All right, luxury, Ace of Wands, fire, ambition, desire, 7 of Cups. Beautiful. All the opportunities. What stage are you in? You're in a magical mindset. Wow. So this is a magical stage coming in for you. Hanged Man energy, breaking free from being stuck in a position that you no longer serves you. Knight of Pentacles, and moving forward, building and moving forward. Determination is there, devotion. What else does Spirit have to say? This is going to be a learning phase for you. This is very new. Whatever is coming in is a whole new stage, and Spirit of the Dummy and Spirit of the Crystal Ball. So that energy of being sort of weak, listless, right? Take that as it comes. We're going to get deeper. That may be the energies that are around you, various people that may be around you, and Spirit of the Crystal Ball, divination predictions coming in. So we're definitely going to get deeper with the clarifiers, and we will be pulling out zodiac signs later on in the reading. But for right now, the Castle is luxury, right? It's protection, it's luxury, it's a tier or a level of life that is full of abundance, full of wealth, full of luxury, full of magical experiences that may be all brand new. We're going to go deeper into that. But yeah, this is a very nice energy when you're getting into sort of new territory, right? Especially if that new territory involves leveling up. Ace of Wands and 7 of Cups. Again, talking about something new that comes in, but with a lot of desire, a lot of fire. Comes in very, very quickly, and suddenly a lot of opportunities. 7 of Cups is all about a lot of wishes being fulfilled. It's very much that genie in the lamp energy. You know, whatever dreams you want, whatever wishes or desires you have, you can make them come true. And so it almost feels as though for some of you, this is quite interesting. You may indeed be entering into a love connection that brings with it also a leveling up of material possession, financial stability, right? Support and experiences that also open your mind up and your life up to magical sort of activities happening, magical experiences coming in and connections coming in. A lot of fire indeed. So let's go a little bit deeper with this Castle, because I'm going to tell you now, it very much feels like you may indeed be meeting people as a result of maybe a change in your life, a shift in your life, that are at a different sort of level, material, financial success level than what there may have been before. Regardless of whatever level of financial stability you're in, this is almost like that kind of meeting a prince vibe, right? Meeting someone who suddenly, not only do they bring an opportunity for new love and attraction with that Ace of Wands, ambition, passion coming in, but they also bring with them a level of wealth and luxury that opens up a whole new world. So let's see a little bit more about this. Chariot energy, right? And a Knight of Swords, right? Beautiful. So Chariot, again, talking about a very different path, walking a very, very different path, getting ready to sort of have a very different kind of life, almost a whole different lifestyle. Knight of Swords comes in as well. Anything that's holding you back from this is going to be cut away. This feels like a real kind of runaway romance, right? And I see being whisked off to vacations, having beautiful dinners, all of the luxury of life, all of the good things in life. And what's wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But this is what is coming in for you. Now, this pick a card is love after a heartbreak. So it almost feels like opening yourself up to more in life after this heartbreak is allowing this whole new adventure to open up. And it happens fast. This feels like a very fast, sort of sudden whirlwind romance that comes in. And again, this feeling that this whirlwind romance that may be coming in for you involves literally physically sweeping you off your feet. You know what I mean? Physically sweeping you off to luxury destinations, romantic adventures, and really anything your heart desires, almost being able to say, I want this or I want that, and that ability being there. I really love this. This is kind of a very exciting sort of reading, right? For this kind of a stage in love. Magical mindset. This is what brings it in. You have a magical mindset that opens up the door to all of this. You know, we bring in the experiences that we desire in our lives. And this is very much a you having faith and belief in a magical kind of life. You know, a beautiful life where everything kind of feels, as it says, everything is divine. You are the creator of your reality. You have brought this in. And so this connection feels exciting on all levels, right? It feels exciting emotionally. There's so much passion with that fire. There's a sense of fulfillment. There's a possibility for things to come to fruition that you now believe can come to fruition. You may not have had that belief before, but you certainly have that belief now. And it comes very much with the person who brings this energy. The castle is not an individual, but I feel this individual coming into your life. I feel this individual bringing with them a whole package, and that whole package is that castle energy, right? Also a feeling of not having to worry about money. You know, we all have, we can be in love, but love doesn't pay the bills. And every single, many of us have found ourselves in relationships where just the everyday of life can make the relationship hard to maintain. Just the struggles of life, of paying bills, of making sure everything is taken care of, making sure everyone is healthy and happy, right, is taken care of. But in this particular connection, that whole package comes with this individual that's coming into your life, this chapter that this individual brings into your life. So let's go. I want to go ahead to that magical mindset. Everything is divine. Know that you are the creator of your reality and you co-manifest with the universe. Now, the Hanged Man energy, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, for a while, you may not have believed in that, right? You may have, up until now in your life, and certainly when we talk about love after a heartbreak, it may have felt that there was no room for that, right? That you were kind of at the mercy, right, of the universe and the kind of love creations, love connections that are being brought to you. But that all turns around with this new stage in your life. Hangman energy, you see a whole new inspiration. You're suddenly inspired. This person and the energy and environment that they bring inspires you in so many ways. And suddenly, everything that you have almost wished for, a lot of the things rather that you have wished for, suddenly become possible. But remembering that all of this is possible because you very much opened yourself to that. You have put yourself in a magical mindset, or you have adopted a magical mindset to allow all of this to unfold. For some of you, you just were kind of, I would say, bored. Some of you may have even been bored in the environment that you felt you were perhaps stuck in before. Again, all of this kind of bursts open, breaks open. It happens very fast. It happens with a lot of fire. It's very much a runaway sort of chapter in love. And with that Knight of Pentacles, there's a deep kind of devotion here that immediately happens, right? Knight of Pentacles is the most committed knight in the deck. And so this comes in very fast, but it's not as though it's over very fast. The onset of this new stage in love that brings this connection in, that brings this luxury, this luxurious kind of relationship in, is steadfast. It definitely lasts for some time. And I do believe it feels like here that it's been some time that you have been without, right? That there's been a scarcity of abundance and stability and, financial sort of wealth in the relationships perhaps before. Now, this is not to say that you had that, but oftentimes we find ourselves in relationships where you may have been the one who had to take care of everything, so things were scarce. This connection here, they're the ones, this next chapter, the person who comes in with this next chapter, they are bringing their own sort of wealth and abundance to the table, right? To this connection. And it stays. And it stays. I love this energy. Let's go ahead and pull another card for the castle and that mindset. Yeah, you really, it's almost as if your whole lifestyle changes. This is like almost a lifestyle change that happens along with the new connection and this new chapter in love that comes in. And that can happen. Sometimes when we open ourselves up for anything is possible energy, and love comes in with that energy, sometimes your lifestyle will change depending on your next lover, especially if this person brings with them a certain level of specifically a certain level of financial stability that you may not have had with previous relationships. Ten of Swords, yeah, it's the end of a period of struggling. There may have really been quite a period in your life where when it came to moving ahead materially, right, there was just always a struggle. There was no harmony here. Sometimes, you have to have harmony with the person that you're in a relationship with for both of you to move ahead and to prosper. But up until now, there's been such a struggle, such a banging of heads, such a lot of arguing, a lot of disagreements, a lot of not being on the same page, not just simply not being in harmony with where you should be, and you and your lover not being in harmony enough to bring about this elevated lifestyle, this elevated way of living. And that's all blown away with this next chapter. For some of you, if you've already met this person or already entered into this new kind of flow, this new kind of stage, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and definitely claim this pile in the reading, because this is oftentimes we don't want to talk about material possessions and money when it comes to love. But again, love does not pay the bills. And this particular stage is the stage where not only does love come in, passion comes in and desire, but more than anything, there's this leveling up that happens in your whole life, in all areas of your life, where things are just better. They're deeper, they're better. Your financial stability is raised up, and therefore the experiences that you're having are much more expansive, much broader, and very magical. definitely very magical. Experiences that you would not have had you not been sort of leveled up into this new lifestyle, I say, right? So now what does Spirit have to say? Yeah, this is a learning phase because this is very new. And when I say a leveling up, I mean a noticeable leveling up, right? This isn't just like, okay, now I can pay my bills. No, this is kind of, oh, we're taking a cruise. Oh, we're buying a home. Oh, we're able to do this. We want to do this. We want to travel here or open this kind of business up, whatever kind of your heart desires. That's that Seven of Cups. It's very much of whatever your heart desires, we can make it happen. And so it's a learning phase for you because this is very, very new, right? This is a new type of life that is coming in. And so, yeah, it's all a learning phase for you. And so Spirit says now is a time for you to keep your eyes open. Spirit of the dummy and spirit of the crystal ball. So there's a feeling of divination and prediction here. You may be seeing signs or omens. You may be having some of your lucky numbers popping up around you in various ways as a message to show you that you're on the right track. You also have spirit of the dummy there. Now, as I said when I first laid down the cards, I don't feel this is for you. This may indeed be for people around you. Spirit of the dummy is the follower, right? And so oftentimes, especially when you're leveling up your lifestyle, when you're leveling up your sort of monetary floor, your financial stability, there are always people around you who tend to want to follow and be around that aura. And so you want to watch out for that energy. Let's go ahead and pull out your zodiac. See what kind of zodiac signs are associated with this message. Some of you are dealing with a Gemini, that air sign. Some of you are dealing with a Leo, beautiful. Fire, that's that fire. Ace of Wands, that strong, passionate fire. Pisces, some of you are dealing with that Pisces water sign, or you may have these signs in your own chart. And there is Aries, some of you dealing with Aries. Aries can often be associated with a lot of wealth as well, as the conqueror of new territory. All right, everyone, this is the message I have for pile number 3. If this resonated for you, please let us know. Let the collective know about your experience in the comments or hit that like button. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper and get a little bit more specific in the extended. If you want to go ahead to the extended reading with me, you can follow the link right next to the timestamp for your pile below in the description or in the comments. And that is it for us today. I'd like to thank all of you for coming to Bow and Arrow Tarot. I wish you all love, life, and happiness, and I hope to see you again right back here for your next Love Tarot reading. Bye-bye, everyone.